Hey everyone, Pharmacist Ben here. How you doing? I want to talk to you today a little bit about cellulite. Nobody likes cellulite, not the people who have cellulite, not people who look at cellulite. Nobody likes cellulite, but we don't really know what it is, so we can't really treat it effectively. So I want to talk to you today a little bit about what exactly cellulite is and what you can do about it. So the word cellulite was coined in the 1920s to describe this condition where fat seems to protrude, pushing outward to the surface of the skin, leading to the characteristic mattress look or cottage cheese look or orange peel look. The thing about cellulite is it is a connective tissue problem. It's a manifestation of deterioration of this very vital component of the body, this part of the body that makes 25 to 30% of our weight, the connective tissue. It's responsible for a lot of disease states, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but in the future we're going to be talking about how connective tissue is involved with migraine headaches, how it's involved with interstitial cystitis, painful chronic bladder infections, how it's involved with the aging process, how it's involved with wrinkles, how it's involved with pretty much every single chronic degenerative disease you can name, including heart disease and cancer. We're going to be talking about that in the future. We've talked about it a little bit in the past. The thing about cellulite is it is the manifestation of a generic deterioration in the connective tissue. Cellulite doesn't occur in a vacuum. It's a sign that the connective tissue is beginning to deteriorate. And it does this for several reasons. But first I want to show you this book here. This is one of my favorite books, and it weighs probably a good 10 pounds, probably 15 pounds. Connective Tissue and its Heritable Disorders. It's 1,200 pages of pictures, and it's got all kinds of connective tissue diseases described as if each of these connective tissue diseases were separate subjects, but they're not. Connective tissue disease is generic. So whether it shows up in the joints, or whether it shows up in the brain, or whether it shows up in the heart, or whether it shows up in the connective tissue in the skin, the facial skin, or in the skin on the thighs, it doesn't really matter. It's the manifestation when you have a health problem. What you're observing is the effects of deterioration of the connective tissue as a whole system. So that cellulite is arthritis of the skin. Wrinkles are arthritis of the skin. Alzheimer's disease, which isn't directly a connective tissue problem, but it has many similarities to connective tissue problems, is arthritis of the brain. They're all the same disease state, the same pathology that's occurring in different places. Cellulite is one of these manifestations of connective tissue degeneration. Once we understand this, the answer to dealing with cellulite will become clear. If you go to a doctor, there's not much they can do. They can give you drugs which don't work, topical caffeine pretty much, I should say. It's not really a drug. They can do mechanical procedures. They can mitigate aggravating factors, but they can't really address the problem. So let's talk about what the problem really is. Number one, it's a sign of connective tissue breakdown, and that means the connective tissue, for one reason or another, usually nutritional deficiencies and toxicity. In fact, that's pretty much the only things that will cause connective tissue deterioration anywhere in the body, is nutritional deficiencies and toxicity. The second element involves the hormone estrogen, which is a swelling hormone, a fiber secreting hormone, and a inflammatory hormone, a fluid retention hormone. And the combination of estrogen, which causes fluid retention and fiber formation, fibrosis, the production of connective tissue, between the actions of estrogen and nutritional deficiency and toxicity, you have a perfect storm that will lead to connective tissue breakdown in the thighs. The fat will protrude through as that connective tissue breaks down, and you'll get your characteristic cellulite look. And you don't have to be fat to get this. Remember, this is a connective tissue deterioration problem. It's not a sign that you're fat, and this is why athletes can have it and people who are skinny can have it. It doesn't really have to do with body fat as much as it has to do with connective tissue deterioration. So just so you get a picture of what's happening, in the skin and the thighs, you have a layer of connective tissue where you have your skin on the top, and then you have a layer of connective tissue underneath, and then underneath the whole thing, you have a fat. They call that the hypodermis, which is underneath the dermis, which is the connective tissue, which is underneath the surface, which is the epidermis. Connective tissue breaks down, fat pokes through, you see it on the surface. That's pretty much it. So what do? First of all, you want to balance out your estrogen. There's lots of ways to do it. Estrogen is not just a female hormone and not just a fertility hormone. It is a hormone of stress. It's one of the ways the body responds to stress. Elevated levels of estrogen are one of the ways the body responds to stress. Also, if you have any digestive problems, this will cause the accumulation of inflammatory estrogens, or so-called bad estrogens. Remember, estrogen is a family of hormones. There's good estrogens and there's bad estrogens. It's being a little bit simplistic, but some of the bad estrogens are associated with inflammation. The bad estrogens accumulate when the digestive system is whacked out. Work on your digestive system. Probiotics, good bacteria, fermented foods, eliminating problem foods, liquids, soups, use digestive enzymes. Everything we talk about all the time on my radio program that I talk about in these videos. Work on your digestive system. Elimination diet, eliminate gluten, any food allergens. I'm not going to really I don't want to get into it too much except to say focus on digestive health. As always, when you have any degenerative condition, always focus on digestive health. The second thing you want to do is maybe use progesterone cream or pregnenolone, which you can get from a health food store, or on the internet. Pregnenolone, Pregnenolone. 100 milligrams or so, has a nice balancing out effect on estrogen. Make sure you're getting all of your fatty vitamins. Chances are pretty good that if you have a problem with your digestive system, and you have problems with fat metabolism, which are secondary to problems in the digestive system, you may be deficient in vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, and those all important anti-inflammatory fats, the essential fatty acids, your ultimate EFAs if you're doing longevity products, essential fatty acids in general, essential fatty acid rich food, both omega-6s and omega-3s. A couple other things that you might want to consider is work on sugar metabolism. Keep your sugar intake down. Sugar reacts with connective tissue in a chemical reaction that's known as glycation. This accelerates the breakdown of connective tissue. So making sure you're reducing your intake of sugar, and when you're doing sugar, making sure you're using nutrients to help your body process sugar, especially the B vitamins, especially vitamins B3 and vitamin B1, B3 and B1, thiamine and niacin, for helping your body process sugar, selenium, sulfur, the amino acid taurine, the amino acid arginine, chromium, vanadium, magnesium, anything you can do to support sugar metabolism to help minimize the reaction that sugar, the glycating reaction, the caramelizing reaction that sugar has with connective tissue. That's a general anti-aging strategy. You notice these strategies are generic. They're just for anti-aging, for feeling better, in addition to helping you work with cellulite. You'll also have better joints. You'll have better connective tissue throughout your body. A couple other things that I might want to add: use amino acids that help your body build connective tissue. Again, this is a generic strategy for keeping your connective tissue going. And not just amino acids, but what they call proteoglycans, or protein sugar complexes. Glucosamine, chondroitin, high hyaluronic acid, liquid silica gel, which acts as a precipitating mineral for connective tissue. The amino acids proline and glycine in particular are important. You may have a hard time finding those amino acids by themselves, but you can use bone soup or cartilage-containing products or cartilage supplements or bone broth protein. All of these will help you provide you the raw material for building the connective tissue, and make sure you have enough vitamin C. You can't make connective tissue without vitamin C. Remember, all of these strategies are not just for cellulite. They're for anti-aging, they're for keeping wrinkles at bay, they're for helping build and support connective tissue everywhere from head to toe, whether it's in your heart or whether it's in your digestive tract. And remember, connective tissue feeds and sustains all of your cells, so every one of the 100 trillion cells that make up this miraculous, amazing system we call the human body will benefit. You'll live longer, you'll feel better, and you'll look better too. All right, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We will talk to y'all later. Bye for now.